Welcome to the Wonder Train, coming at you in Kanto in December. Oh, you got a Rattata on Route 1? Well, now you can Wonder Train and get another Rattata, but this time it's named Fart Sticks. Oh, you're trying to complete your Pokedex? Well, too bad, because in Wonder Train, you will never get whatever you want. You will most likely end up with this Bidoof here. Say something, Bidoof. Ah, just kidding, shut up. Oh, what is that, Billy? We have a Pokeball ready to go right now? Call 1-800-694-20 and you'll get your own Haunter with a limited edition Everstone, because f*** you. Wonder Train, coming at you soon. Going on, guys? This is Dobbs here, bringing you another Pokemon video. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the top 10 absolute worst trades in Pokemon. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to my newest Patreons. So shout out to Political Christian, Kathleen, Sav, Bradley, and Rivy. I really appreciate the support, and if y'all want to become a Patreon as well, I'll leave a link down below in the description. Also, one last thing, I just want to let you guys know that tomorrow on Saturday on the Dobbs Gaming channel, I'm going to be doing a Pokemon Crystal Sleep Lock. And a sleep lock is basically a randomized Nuzlocke of a game where you play it until you fall asleep or beat the game. So come check it out. I'll be going live around 6 to 8 p.m. CST. And yeah, with that said, without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Alright, starting off this list, we have the Super Secret Magikarp. Now this trade is without a doubt one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a Pokemon game in my life. Because in order to activate this super secret trade, you have to do a super secret task that isn't explained anywhere in the game. But apparently when we talk to this hiker that stays at a random hotel 4 times in a row on 4 separate days, he will trade you a Magikarp for a Gyarados. A super secret Magikarp, in fact. And there are 2 major problems with this trade. First of all, finding this hiker at a random hotel when there are 6 of them on 4 separate days is just a humongous task. Especially when there are 4 cities that start with the letter C. Corway, Campfire, Silage, and Coromine. It just becomes confusing. And second of all, more importantly, this is just a scam. You're trading him a Gyarados for a Magikarp in return. A Magikarp that really has no saving qualities about it. Nothing that's worth going through this hassle of fighting this hiker 4 times in a row on 4 separate days and trading him. The whole experience with this trade is just bad. And not to mention that I tried doing this trade myself, and after like 20 days of trying to trade him, he just kept acknowledging that he was in the Kalos region and it wasn't that bad. He wouldn't even trade me his useless Magikarp. I guess he just doesn't like my Gyarados, I guess. But yeah, this is without a doubt one of the worst trades in any Pokemon game ever. And that is why it is number 10 on this list. Number 9. Now, I've already mentioned this one in a previous video, but I thought it was just suiting for this one as well, so I'm doing it again. So with that said, for number 9, we have the Grochu Train. Now, in the English versions of Pokemon Red and Blue, there is a guy at the Pokemon Lab in Cinnabar Island that will give you an Electrode for a Raichu. And when you trade this old chap, he will say that his Raichu evolved during the trade. Now, I know, this is a translation error because in the Japanese versions, he gives you a Graveler while you give him a Kadabra, and the Kadabra obviously evolves through the trade. But since it was never fixed, we can imagine that he actually got a Grochu during the trade, because technically, it is canon, kinda. And what makes this trade so bad is that you give him the only Grochu that will ever exist in a Pokemon game ever. A Pokemon that was said to be too powerful for the Pokemon games. It was just scrapped because it was just absurdly powerful, like legendary status. And you just gave that away. And on top of that, his Electrode will be the same level as your Raichu. So if you went to Viridian Forest and caught a Pikachu at level 3 and then evolved it with a Thunderstone, he will quite literally give you a level 3 Electrode in return, which is not even possible because an Electrode evolves at level 30. So he basically just gives you a hacked Mon for a Grochu. Yeah, this trade is pretty bad, and that is why it's number 9 for this list. Number 8. Now this one was an unused trade in Pokemon Yellow. So with that said, for number 8, we have Bart. Now this was a surprise to me because I didn't even know there were unused trades in Pokemon games. And according to Bulbapedia, there are only 5 unused trades out of every Pokemon game that we know of, where 1 resides in Pokemon Red and Blue, 3 in Pokemon Yellow, and 1 in Pokemon Crystal. And out of these 5 trays, there's one in particular that looks really interesting and strange. Okay, I'll just say it. It looks bad. It is the Mew for a Mew named Bart Train. Now, why on earth would you ever trade your own Mew that you own for another Mew under a different OT that is named Bart? Bart is like the worst name that you would ever give a Mew ever. It's a mythical legendary Pokemon that is the ancestor of all Pokemon. Why would you name it Bart? That sounds terrible. And if you ever named your Mew Bart, send me a picture of it because that is just a sight to see. And if your name is Bart, I'm sorry, Bart. But yeah, I'm glad this trade was scrapped, but I'm also intrigued because maybe in Pokemon Yellow, they were going to give out a Mew somehow. We shall never know. But yeah, that is why I chose this Mew for number 8 for this list.
Number 7.
Now this next one doesn't make any sense. So with that said, for number 7, we have Dots. Now, for some odd reason in Pokemon Emerald, there is a trade in Rustboro City where you trade a Ralts for a Seedot named Dots. Now, why would you ever do this? Because Seedot is a lot more abundant in Pokemon Emerald than Ralts. Not to mention that it has a 20 to 30% encounter rate in all the grass patches that it's available in, while Ralts has a mere 1 to 4%. It just makes no sense. Like, what is this guy thinking? I don't know what you're up to, Kobe, but I'm watching you because this is just a plain scam. I don't care if you give me a Chesto Berry with your Seedot. I'm not going to give you my rare Ralts for a freaking Seedot named Dots. I don't know. This is just a really, really bad trade. Probably one of the worst ones in any Pokemon game. And that is why it made it to the top 10 for number 7.
Number 6.
Now this next trade takes place in the Pokemon anime, and is quite crazy on how this happens. So for number 6, we have Wobblefit. Now, did you know the infamous Wobblefit that Jesse has from Team Rocket was actually traded on accident over 20 years ago? Yes, because in episode 146, Tricks of the Trade, this character known as Benny went to the Pokemon Swap Meet to trade his Wobblefit for something new. And the Pokemon Swap Meet is basically just a fair where traders go to trade their Pokemon. And while James was chasing a salesman for something that he wanted to buy, Jessie bumps into him and her Lickitung goes flying into a trading machine, trading her Lickitung for the Wobblefit that Benny offered. And she didn't even realize this until much later into the episode. Now, you're probably asking, how is this a bad trade? Well, it was a bad trade for Benny because his Wobblefit went on to be the most famous Wobblefit to ever exist in Pokemon. Because this Wobblefit has debuted in almost every episode since then, 20 years later. Now, I'm not sure if it's every episode, but a lot of them. He traded the most famous Wobblefit for some random Lickitung that he liked it for licking him on the face, right there. A Wobblefit that would sell merchandise and make millions for the Pokemon TV show that is probably his canon to their little universe. He missed out on being a millionaire, and that sucks. So yeah, that was a pretty bad trade for Benny. But at least he has a Lickitung that licks his face though, I guess.
Number 5.
Now, this next trade is just absurd. So with that said, for number 5, we have Doris. Okay, so this trade is just the Ralts for the Seedot trade on another level. Now, in Pokemon Crystal, this girl named Emmy wants a Dragonair for a Dodrio named Doris. Let me just get this straight. You want a pseudo-legendary Pokemon that is extremely rare in the game, probably the rarest wild Pokemon in Pokemon Crystal, for a freaking Dodrio named Doris. Emmy, what are you smoking? Because the Doris is holding a smoke ball as well. Dragonair is literally a pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Keep in mind, back in the Gen 1 and 2 days, Dragon Pokemon were considered legendary, while also having a 10% encounter rate with a Super Rod. While Dodrio over here also has a 5% encounter rate, but dude, just catch a Dodrio with a 40% encounter rate and evolve it into a Dodrio easy. There are only 2 other Pokemon games that have a pseudo-legendary Pokemon in the trade. And that is Gale of Darkness when you trade a Wooper for a Larvitar, and then there is Emerald where you trade a Bagon for a Horsey. But what makes this trade worse is that Horsey actually has an upside of having a perfect contest stat, while the Dodrio you get in Pokemon Crystal only has a Smoke Ball to offer, and really nothing else. This is a ridiculous trade, and that is why I chose it for number 5 for this list.
Number 4.
Now this next trade is probably the dumbest trade in the entire planet for Pokemon Black and White 2. So with that said, for number 4, we have Ambidexter. Now in the game, there is a girl named Diana who wants an Excadrill for her Ambibomb named Ambidexter. Now let me tell you how this is a scam on 20 billion levels. Excadrill is dummy thick, okay? He is a big boy in Pokemon Black and White 2. He claps cheeks all throughout the game. Quite literally in the world record of Pokemon Black and White 2, you just run an Excadrill and sweep everything with this Pokemon. It is just broken. It is like literally the best Pokemon to use in that game. Its 135 base attack stat is just excellent. It's just a truck hitting Pokemon back and forth. And the fact that it learns Rock Slide, Iron Head, and Dig early on, it's just a super reliable Pokemon for the game. While with Ambipom on the other hand, it's just I don't know what it is. Excadrill was so good in Pokemon Black and White 2 that it was banned with Thunderous, a legendary Pokemon. It was banned from competitive battling by Smogon because its Sand Rush ability was just insanely good paired with his attack stat. Excadrill is just too good to be traded for a mere Ambipom. I know what you're up to, Diana, and I'm not gonna fall for it. So yeah, that is why this trade is number 4 on this list. It is just a straight up scam.
Number 3.
Now, number 3 is pretty interesting. Not really, actually. It's actually really boring. So, with that said, for number 3, I chose the Machop Train. Now, I included this trade on this list for only one reason, and that reason is that it's the most boring trade in the entirety of all Pokemon games. You see, in Pokemon Sun and Moon, a girl named Hila will trade you a Machop for a Spearow. Yeah, don't get too excited because this thrilling trade is incredibly boring. It's incredibly basic with basic Pokemon, and out of all the Pokemon trades on Bulbapedia, this one takes the cake as the most boring one. And that's really it. I just want to showcase the most uninspired trade in any Pokemon game. It's this one. But it's only my opinion, and that is why I chose it for number 3 for this list.
Number 2.
Now this next one is a bad trade, but surprisingly, it's not for you. So, with that said, for number 2, we have Thumper. Now this is going to surprise you, because in Pokemon X and Y, this guy named Ferris wants a love disc for his Steelix. Yeah, like what? And there's no like plot line or story behind this. He just says, hey, I'll give you the Steelix if you give me a love disc, and that's that. And then after the trade, he's just like, hello, love disc, all creepily. Like, what's he gonna do to that love disc, man? I'm kind of worried for it. But nonetheless, I got a good trade out of it, and for him, it was an awful trade. Like, I don't even get it. But yeah, even though this is probably one of the greatest trades for us, this is probably one of the worst trades for an NPC. And that's why I chose it for number 2 for this list. It is quite strange.
Number 1.
Now, you all saw this one coming, so let's just get right into it. So, for number 1, I chose the Haunter holding the Everstone. Yes, in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, there is a trainer known as Mindy who trades you a Haunter holding an Everstone. Just like, imagine yourself as a young lad, and you see this trainer offering a Haunter for a trade. And you're like, oh my god, I can get a Gengar without trading a friend in real life. This is amazing. And then once she trades it over and it doesn't evolve, you're just like, what? And then you see the Haunters holding an Everstone, and you just feel like you've just been betrayed by Game Freak. This has to be the worst trade of all time. I don't think we'll ever see anything worse than this. Not only is Mindy evil, but she is also a gigantic troll. She even laughs in your face after you trade her the Medicham, and she is like, haha, did my Haunter turn into something else? Just kidding, I gave him an item that prevents evolution. And it's like, damn, like calm down, Satan. And yeah, that's all there really is to say about this trade. It is the worst to ever exist. And that is why I chose it for number 1 for this list. And there you go, the top 10 absolute worst trades in Pokemon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you did because I appreciate it a ton. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe because I upload pretty frequently now being a full-time YouTuber and all. And don't forget to ring that bell because it notifies you when I upload my videos. And if you want to be even more awesome, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or even join my Discord server because all those platforms are super cool. And also, you should check out my new ongoing series on Dobbs Gaming where my friends and I have 30 minutes to build a Pokemon team and then we fight in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's pretty fun and awesome, and we have a new guest pretty much every time, so go check it out. You can check down below in the description for my gaming channel link and subscribe if you want to. And finally, for the question of the day, what is the worst trade that you've experienced? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments because I'm going to read those comments and reply to them and be like, whoa, that's crazy. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.